Over the past 2 years, Note owners have been forced to watch with envy as Galaxy S phones have gotten early access to Android updates through Samsung's beta program. Note people, who were some of Samsung's most enthusiastic fans, had to wait months more for the official release of Android Nougat and Oreo to drop. But no more. This year, Note 9 owners in a handful of countries can get an early look at Samsung's biggest software update in years. So here it is, Android 9 Pie and Samsung's One UI running on the Galaxy Note 9. Let's dive in. The first thing to get to grips with in this beta is that the Note 9 is on roughly the same software track now as the Galaxy S9, with updates rolling around every few weeks. So that means just as the Galaxy S9's One UI update is being finalized in many countries, we're seeing very close to final beta software here on the Note. Don't expect too many drastic changes anytime soon. That said, a few things have changed since we first saw One UI in beta form on the S9 Plus. For example, all Samsung's apps now conform to your night mode settings, so if you're using the lighter system theme, the Gallery app will be light, not always dark like it was before. Same deal with pretty much every single built-in Samsung app. Task switching has grown this predictive app area down below, similar to the Google Pixel 3, and certain minor cosmetic bugs have been cleared up, like the blur effect from the notification shade sometimes not being shown correctly. You get the idea, everything is a lot more polished and closer to final. One UI on the Note has the same major UI pillars that we saw back on the S9 Plus. The main thing it adds is easier one-handed navigation for larger phones, and that's a big help on Samsung's largest flagship phone ever. For a phone like the Note that feels so much bigger even than the S9 Plus, having the stuff you're supposed to interact with clustered at the bottom of the screen and the stuff that you're supposed to look at up at the top makes a lot more sense. And this overscroll animation that brings the top part of menu items into easier reach continues to be one of my favourite features in One UI. There are a few areas where this falls down though, like the folder view and the launcher, which is still pretty terrible for one-handed use. The launcher in general, to be honest, is mostly unchanged, with the same backgrounds and wallpapers, only the weather widget has undergone any kind of real overhaul here. The new gesture navigation system is here too, and with a screen as big as the Note 9's, it's great to be able to dedicate the entire thing to your apps and content if you want to. The new gesture hints feature at the bottom of the screen is a neat halfway house if you want to make those swipe targets a little easier to hit. Of course, there is also a significant change to the way the UI looks compared to the old Samsung experience. With fewer drop shadows and wireframe icons, One UI has its own brighter color palette that focuses on round buttons and icons, and big, chunky, easy to identify shapes. What hasn't changed is the way the S Pen works and feels. You've got the same drawing and writing and pointing functionality as you had back on Oreo, only now with some different looking UI elements. You can use the S Pen with the new gesture controls as well, by the way, but doing so feels a little bit weird. Kinda seems like there should be some sort of secondary navigation setup that you can use when the S Pen is out. General performance seems snappier on the new version of Android, which also benefits from all the little tweaks and improvements that Google has baked into Android 9 Pie. Check out our Pie review video for more on what's new at the OS level. And of course, we also shouldn't forget Bixby, including Bixby Home, which now conforms to the new One UI design language and is a lot snappier as well. Finally, there are some subtle changes to the camera UI though. This is less sweeping than what we've seen on the S9 Plus, and actually, as far as the functionality goes, it's pretty much the same as the Note camera that we already know and love. The main changes are to the zoom toggle, which now works with a swipe, and the AI scene detection, which you can turn off at any time by tapping this icon. So there's a lot to look forward to here in One UI and Android 9 Pie on the Galaxy Note 9, and Samsung's schedule has the update rolling out from January 2019. That's it for now. Check out our One UI video on the S9 Plus for more detail on the minutiae of Samsung's latest software, and subscribe so you don't miss the upcoming Android goodness in 2019. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.